Oh, let's go, baby. Oh, wait, what is this? It's the best beginner BFS reel for a budget.
I don't know where I'm at, but I know where I wanna be. Every time I see that smile, can't help myself but...
What's up, guys and gals? It is your boy, the Hunter Fisher. Welcome back to another epi banger video. And today we're gonna do something a little bit more gear related, and I'm gonna give you guys a review on the KastKing Zephyr. Now, I've been using this reel for a lot of my BFS stuff lately, and you guys have been seeing me use it for microfishing on the channel. It's been an awesome reel, but there are some pros and cons to the KastKing Zephyr, but there's a lot of things that I do love about the KastKing Zephyr and why I think it's the best beginner BFS reel for a budget. You guys stay tuned for the review, and let's get to fishing. All right, first things first with this reel, I will say that keep in mind before I go into the review that this is a beginner, a budget BFS reel. Now, this reel is not meant to be your Curado BFS. It's not meant to be your Bediawa Millionaire BFS. It's not meant to be top of the line. It's under $100. It's $70. It's on sale right now, by the way. And it's not meant to be this super high premium reel. So don't go into this, guys, thinking that's going to be a high premium reel. Now, if you guys don't know already what it is a BFS reel. What BFS means is a bait finesse system reel. So it has a shallow spool that's specifically meant to prevent backlashes and allow for lighter baits to be cast. So when you have a shallower spool, you have less weight to worry about on the inside of the reel. Now, a lot of your basic reels nowadays have fancy big spools meant for heavy duty and saltwater capabilities. But this reel, well, also this reel is saltwater capable, has shielded bearings and a good spool overall. But mainly with this reel, it's meant to be as light as possible. This has a super light spool, and it's also a very good beginner reel. Now, I know this is a little detailed for my channel than normal, but that's what I do at work all the time, so I might as well talk about it here on the channel. Now, with this reel, I will say, if you guys are wanting to start ultralight fishing with bait casters, it's perfect for it. I believe I can cast Ned rigs, anything on this reel, and currently I'm throwing around a 1/32 ounce swim bait jig type of thing going on, where you can throw a grub on it or anything like that. But I'm casting a 1/32 ounce jig with not ease necessarily, but with less difficulty. So I would say for overall, it's a pretty good reel. So far for the day, I've actually walked around this pond once trying to get bit, but for some reason there is a bit of fishing pressure here today. I had a bunch of like high school age kids around here fishing. It's no biggie, it's a public park, and I know this place gets tons of pressure, but there's some really unique bluegill hybrid species out here, which I'm really into fishing right now. I'm really into multi-species fishing. If you guys want to see more multi-species fishing, let me know down below. But overall, I'm throwing a lot of things mainly based for bluegill right now because I'm trying to get some more bluegill. I can go to a puddle if I wanted to that I have some fish in, but I'm not going to. But overall, for the reel, I would say for this situation, there's not a lot of casting space here at this pond. It's a lot of places that are very tough to cast in, very inconvenient casting conditions, and I would say that this reel passes that with flying colors. Now, I'm able to, oh my gosh, something just blew up right over there. But I'm able to cast in extremely small cover with overhand cast, side cast, and flipping and pitching. I can do this with ease with this BFS reel, and I'm definitely excited to try more and more every day. In the future, am I looking to upgrade my Zephyr? Yes, for sure. I do believe that there's some upgrades that would be useful to do for the Zephyr, like ceramic bearings, high-speed bearings, things like that. I'm gonna try it, gonna think about it, but for right now, I'm not really worried about it too much. But for a budget option, this reel's great. It's performed awesome. I have had a tough time dialing it in, but for these types of reels, it's a little bit different how you want to dial these reels in. You have to tighten the spool, then set your brakes to about 80% full, and then you start adjusting. That's how this reel will work. You can't just simply go willy-nilly by letting the bait drop and things like that. It's gonna mess you up. Now, will I still do that sometimes with other reels? Yeah, but this reel you can't. So keep that in mind. If you're looking at getting this reel, you have to set it up a little bit differently. Try to make sure you get rid of the side-to-side play on the spool and then adjust your brakes starting at 90% all the way down. That's what I would suggest for starting out with this reel. Guys, this is just an example of one of the many backlashes I've experienced with BFS. It is a completely natural thing, just like with any bait caster that you're going to use. you're going to experience backlashes. So don't go into BFS assuming that you're not going to get backlashes with light lures. I'm literally using a lure this big. Let me get out of the wind. I'm literally using a lure this big. There's no way I'm not backlashing with it. This lure is fantastic though for what you're trying to do with it. So I know a lot of people are going to be getting into BFS here soon. That's why I'm making this reel review. But for you guys, I'm probably pretty sure y'all have already started commenting, what rod is this? What rod are you using? It's a Suga Yalang reel, a rod, I mean. And I highly do not recommend this rod for casting light lures. It is not rated for good lures, at least to start like a certain weight range. It's rated for very low weight range, and I've already broken it. When I broke it, I literally was casting randomly and they broke, and I still have yet to hear from the customer service, so I am going to give them a very bad review, and it just fell apart right in my hands. There you go, there's a sum up of this rod. So I'm not going to be putting out a review on this rod because it's bad. That's all I have to say about it. It is awful, it's horrible, it's not very sensitive. It's sensitive enough for an ultralight rod, but it's not sensitive to the liking I want. If you guys want a good rod, go check out some Ace Double Hawks on AliExpress, or go check out the Dobyns Ultra Finesse series. Now, if you guys can see, I'm casting about roughly 20 to 30 feet max with this tiny 1/32 ounce jig. To give you guys an idea of how much this jig weighs, if you guys are not from America, it is approximately about roughly, I want to say 0.8 of a gram, I think is what it is. Yeah, 0.8, around that area, 0.8, 0.9, I would say. And I'm casting it about 20 to 30 feet on a bad rod. Now that goes to show that this reel can perform if you get it dialed in just right. It took me a while at first to figure it out myself, but as you figure out this reel over time, it goes great. Now, I'm trying to catch a fish today for the video, but I am making no guarantee at this point. There is so much fishing pressure in this pond, it's not even funny. So I'm trying to just fish past it with micro lures and things like that with this BFS combo, which is why I got into BFS overall. If you guys haven't already gotten into BFS, this is why people do it. If you guys are just getting into BFS, this is probably the perfect reel for you because it's a good budget reel and it allows you to try something out without breaking the bank necessarily. Now, this reel overall is really good compared to other budget competitors, like certain reels like the Surinoya, things like that. And I'd say overall, I like it a lot more. Essentially, it is a reel that's not going to be amazing. Yeah, it's not a cast probably a 1/80th lure with ease. I might try it anyways when I get my new rod, but this, oh my God, there's a giant soft shell right there in the water. You can see it. I can see with my polarized glasses on a little bit better. But overall, this reel, it can cast what you need it to cast. It's just not gonna cast it amazingly every single time, especially if you have the wrong rod set up for it, which I do. But if you guys are getting into BFS fishing, just to give you guys an idea, this is meant to face those pressure conditions like that I'm in right now. This is easily the most pressured pond in my city that I know about. And I would say that this pond is significantly harder to fish than any other pond I've ever been. And I've caught tiny fish in here, but that's because I'm fishing with the micro lure. I like fishing with these micro lures because it's a lot of fun to say I can catch a fish on an 1.5-inch lure, which is pretty cool. But let me see if I can catch a fish on video for you guys to show you what BFS is really all about. That's a good backlash right there. So, like I said, not gonna be a perfect reel and rod. I think mostly it's just a rod that's making me kind of fall short right here. Yep, it's definitely the rod. So just give you guys an idea of why I'm struggling is because this tip is losing its sensitivity and flexibility for me to be able to pitch and flip in certain spaces. Now, when a rod does that, you're going to struggle a lot more with fishing. Let's see if we can cast right here. But just to give you an idea of what I'm casting, I am casting a 1/32 ounce jig. I've said this a couple times during the video already, but I'm casting a 1/32 ounce jig in this space of area with a Mule Fishing Donkey Tail Jr. I would have used their jig head, but they are out of stock of literally everything. So, but Ethan over there is doing a good job of at least getting these out, which is awesome. I love these baits. I'm always going to be using them for finesse fishing. They're perfect. So, but let's see if I can try to catch one of these bluegill. All right, guys, I'm really struggling for a bite right now, but I'm going to keep talking about the reel some more, give you guys an idea of what it's really all about. So the reel, really, like I've said, is actually capable of doing really tight spaces casts, but I will say it's a little difficult. So out of overall, I think this reel for castability is decent. For durability, it's awesome because it's a very tough reel. It's KastKing. KastKing usually really does a lot of good durability tests on their reels, I've noticed, which is really peculiar. I already have a KastKing reel. I'm not associated with KastKing in any way. So if you guys are curious about that, they have not paid me to say this. They have not. I have never talked to a KastKing rep in my life, except for like maybe a return that I thought about doing on a rod, and that was it. But overall, I am not associated, and I'm really impressed with this reel. Am I going to recommend it as the best beginner reel? Yes. Am I going to recommend it to somebody who's looking for a premium reel? No. There's a lot more reels I'd recommend before I'd recommend this one. Let's see if I can get on some bluegill today, guys. All right, let's give this another try because apparently I can't cast. That is the side hand cast. Looks like I need to adjust my brakes a little bit because I cast to the left. But didn't go very far. But you can't really expect much out of a BFS reel with a 32nd ounce jig and a horrible rod. So there we go, we got some really good distance there. That's like 30 feet maybe, it's like 20 feet. Not sure how far exactly it is, but it casts decently. That was the side hand cast. Here's the overhand cast, which I just get more distance out of. So, another backlash. Looks like, so whenever I'm overhand casting, I've noticed I need to have my brakes set higher. Looks like I almost broke my rod there. So I always set it up a tick. So that's the overhand cast with a little bit of a step. Let's do another overhand cast. Boom, another overhand cast. That's easily 30 feet, 20 yards-ish maybe. Well, 20 yards, 30 feet, that doesn't make sense. That's like half of what I said. I'd say it's about 20 yards actually, so it's more like 60 feet. Actually, I don't know about that. You know what, don't take my measurements for serious, but you see how far it is on the camera. It's going decently far. Far enough, not way out there, but I could probably cast another jig way out there, which I'm thinking about trying a different bait to show you guys what I can do with the different bait. So, but that was a cast test just to show you guys. All right, guys, we're almost done with our second lap around the pond, and I have not gotten any action quite yet, but I am going to keep trying for a little bit longer. I'm thinking about going to a different pond and maybe see if I can catch a fish for the video, but overall, I don't think I need to really prove that I can catch a fish with this reel because the last 3 or 4 videos have been with this reel where I'm catching fish. So if you guys really want to go see me catch a fish on it, for sure, go to my last videos to see. But, you know, who knows, I might catch a fish before I leave today. But we are doing so far not too hot as far as fishing goes. I almost tripped there. That was nice. But overall, I'm just talking about the reel as I'm walking and giving you guys a review just because, I don't know, I want one day a week where I just relax and give you guys some gear talk on the channel just because it's something else to upload, giving you guys a refresher from the constant fishing content, because, you know, not everybody's catching fish when they go out there to fish, and I want to keep it as relatable as possible out here. So you guys just getting a review today. But overall, back to what I was saying about the Zephyr. The Zephyr can cast these light lures, not with ease necessarily, but with a good bit of distance if you really get it dialed in correctly. All right, guys, I wanted to sit down and give you guys just an overall review of the reel and what I like about it so far. What I like about it is it's super light. What I've really loved about this reel is that it fits in the palm of my hand, and I can usually stay pretty handy with one hand while fishing this rod and reel. Now, I'm casting a 1/32 ounce jig with ease, keep in mind. Not, well, I won't say with complete ease. I will say there's some difficulties to getting the reel dialed in for 1/32 ounce swim jigs, or jigs in general. I call it a swim jig because there's a swim bait on the back of it. But as far as getting this dialed in, it's really good, and I really like doing it just because I like BFS content right now a lot more personally, just because I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and I definitely want to put more out. I don't know if you guys like it as much. I'm seeing the views and you guys are liking it a lot more than normal. So microfishing must be something that you guys are into recently. I've noticed that with a trend, BFS is starting to come up, and I'm trying to take advantage of that just because you guys seem to like it a lot and I like doing it myself. So that's the reason why I'm loving just BFS fishing in general. But the reason why I love this reel is because it was really cheap and really good for the money. As far as a reel goes, not many reels you're gonna find have shielded bearings, super of ease where you get it in 2 days. And personally, I don't like waiting 2 to 3, 4 weeks for a reel from AliExpress. That's why I originally got this Sugia Lang rod. But this Sugia Lang rod, like I said in the video on the GoPro earlier, the Sugia Lang rod is about as bad as it gets. This rod sucks. It is garbage. It is trash. I've broken it. It's been not sensitive. It hasn't handled the weight range. The eyes on it are too big. It feels like a pool noodle is what it feels like. And I honestly don't recommend it at all. So if you guys are looking for rods, don't look here. I would say go to AliExpress and try waiting on the Ace Hawk, because honestly, out of all rods, that's probably the one that's worth the money the most. As far as value, the Ace Hawk is just a lot better in my opinion. So I would say don't waste your money. Go with the Ace Hawk and wait for it. Oh my God, a big fish just took off right in front of me. Holy crap. I'm gonna fish in a minute here. But what I'm gonna say, what I like about more ultralight bait casters, in that I don't want to use a spinning combo. So summing up, the reason why I would choose a BFS reel over ultralight spinning combo is because of efficiency. Because personally, I don't like to waste time while I'm going fishing. This right here is a lot easier than taking the 3 steps that it takes to fish a spinning reel. It takes 1 step for me to do it with a bait caster. I can do it all in one hand and never have to touch it again. And I can do everything as far as fishing, casting, pitching and flipping, things like that with one hand, versus a spinning rod. I cannot do that. And there's a lot more accuracy to a bait caster that I can get pinned down. Now with a 1/32 ounce jig, I would say that's not as true, because you can't get that much accuracy with a 1/32 ounce jig. You can just get as much accuracy as you can. If I had the right rod, probably I would get more accuracy, but we'll find out about that soon enough. But overall, I think I would rather have this over any ultralight combo any day, just because it's light and I hate the profile of a spinning reel. But let's try to see if we can catch some fish today. All right guys, we're trying a slightly different color today with it. I usually don't do dirty water colors because dirty water is not really a thing. But yeah, we're gonna try a little bit of dirty water colors because I noticed it's a little muddy out today. So let's just give it a shot. Why not? I'm not catching fish anyways. It's gonna hurt to try out something that probably won't catch fish either way. So let's just cut this off. You're kidding me, right? Hold up. Let me just show you guys how durable this bait is. Literally, I can't cut it. Hold up. Oh, there it goes. That looks stupid. Oh, there we go. Let's go, baby. Oh, wait, what is this? It's a little tiny bass. Oh my gosh. It's a little tiny bass. Would you look at that? It's a little tiny bass. Oh my gosh. He ate that whole donkey tail. Holy crap, I did catch a fish today. Look at that. All right, guys, that is it for the video today. Now, I just caught that one fish for the day, and that's really all I caught. And honestly, I wouldn't say it was the bad day, because as long as you're catching fish, it really ain't that bad of a day, huh? So I just caught that one fish for the day. It was a dink, but that was the first time I caught a fish on that lure, so I was kind of just happy about that in general. I'm glad I figured out the bite, and that's really what I'm happy about. If you guys can figure out the bite at your local lake or pond, but if you can figure out the bite at your local lake or pond, that's a success in my opinion. And honestly, I would say today was overall a pretty good day. As long as you get bit, it's a good day. Now, honestly, for the real review part, I want to say KastKing Zephyr is a great beginner budget BFS reel. If you don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on your first BFS reel, KastKing is a great budget option for you to not have to waste so much money on a new reel that you don't even know if you're going to like this whole new type of fishing. But overall, I would say if you guys are looking at new reels, check out the KastKing Zephyr. Do me a favor and actually check it out through the link down below in my Amazon description. If you notice, I actually have links for everything that I use, but whenever you use those Amazon links, it helps me out, guys. So you pay the same price for the reels and stuff you're buying on Amazon anyways, but I just get a cut of it when you guys buy it through those links. I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm gonna tell you guys it's affiliate marketing. It always helps me out, helps me do what I do. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys leave a like, and make sure you press that subscribe button, and make sure you turn my bell notifications on, guys. My notifications aren't getting sent out to people, and it would do me an awesome favor if you guys make sure you turn on that bell notification so you know whenever my next video is coming out. Make sure you guys comment down below what your favorite part about the Zephyr is, or if you have a different reel you suggest, let me know down below. But overall, guys, thanks for watching. Remember, fish fear me.
Somebody grab me a mask. I'm unsure in everything because my last didn't last. I'm unsure how you got my mind moving so fast. Asking where my Adderall so I can focus and last.